Welcome to the Schmidt List, the podcast for people dedicated to managing successful projects, developing impactful products, and building engaged teams. And now, here's your host, Kurt Schmidt.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 44. Well, technically, 44 episodes of this show. This is the 1 year anniversary of launching the show, and I wanted to take a moment to answer a lot of questions that people have asked me over the past year about how I do the show, where the idea came from, and what's next. So I've kind of split this up into three parts. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the technical side of doing the show, about creating content, and then I want to talk about the things that I've learned. And I have some special audio I want to share with you later in the show. So I'll jump right into the technical side. One of the first mistakes I made was a completely rookie move, which was getting too much equipment. I went overboard and got crazy mixer and microphones and all these different things. One of the main reasons why, and don't get me wrong, if you want to start a podcast, all you need is a decent microphone, a computer to record on, and some headphones. But I specifically wanted my show to be an interview style show for reasons that audio we'll talk about later. So the microphones I use are just regular old condenser microphones. They're ATR 2100s, and then I use a ZE10 mixer, which allows me to do multi-track recording. And that means basically each microphone goes in its own track, so I can edit out weird stuff that happens in between from separate audio sources, which is nice. For the majority of the show, it was all recorded in one track, and it just took a lot longer to make some edits. And believe me, I need to edit because I say quite a bit, especially when I'm interviewing somebody, and I know you guys don't want to hear all that. The other thing is software. GarageBand is what I use. I tried a ton of different software, but GarageBand was just super easy. I know it sounds basic, but it works great, and it does everything I need it to do. So moving off of the technical stuff for a minute. Oh, one last thing I'll talk about is hosting. I use a hosting service called Spreaker. It's like speaker, but with an R, Spreaker. They're a pretty good hosting service. One of the reasons I like is because they have a really good embeddable player, which works on the website and a number of places. And that's been a pretty good service overall. Let's talk about creating content. If you're interested in starting your own show, the first thing you need to figure out is who is your target audience? Who are the people that are going to listen? And then I would also ask them, talk to some of those people and ask them, what shows do they listen to? What shows do they like? The point of doing this is just to start. Don't wait around for somebody to give you permission. In the beginning, I kind of went around and told people I was doing a podcast, and everybody's like, that's great. But for some reason, I was looking for somebody to say, like, you should totally do that. And nobody was saying that. And finally, I got to the point where I just kind of had to force it and make it happen and have it start happening. And I'm super glad I did. I wish I would have started it a long, long time ago. So how do I get listeners? How do I get people to listen to the show? Honestly, it's one person at a time. Every time I'm networking or I'm meeting with people, I always mention that I have a podcast. I share links. We use social media to get the word out. But honestly, for the past year, it's been doing speaking events and talking about it. And then just when I'm networking and talking with people, mentioning that's what I do when I do this show. So if you start a show and you have like 20 listeners out the gate, you're pretty lucky. So it takes a while to build an audience. So do not despair. I'm honestly telling you, just get started and try it from the beginning. So thanks to this show, I've had a lot of amazing opportunities over the last year. And one of them that I'm super proud of is the keynote that I did at the Agile conference for General Mills back at the beginning of August. At the event, I talked about why I started the show. So I have that audio, thanks to the great people over at General Mills, shared the videos with me. And I took a clip of the audio out that I want to play for you now. This talks a little bit about where the genesis and everything was for the show. So take a listen to that, and then I will see you on the other side of that. But I want to share one other quick personal story with you. So I used to read a metric ton of leadership, self-help, personal hacking, and management books. But I wasn't growing in the way that I thought. I would read these books, and then I would try to apply these things, and these things I learned, and they wouldn't work. They wouldn't stick. Nothing would stick. Why wasn't it sticking? I felt like I was on the right road. I knew where I wanted to be as a leader, but it just wasn't getting me anywhere.